Hi, I'm Diana Rankin, and I'd like to share one of my favorite stories with you today. It's the story of Quan Yin, and I think the story teaches us a lot about compassion. Quan Yin was a young lady who lived in ancient China, and she was the daughter of the great lord of the land. Well, Quan Yin had two older sisters, and the two older sisters were married to very cruel but wealthy gentlemen. When it came time for Quan Yin to marry, she went to her father and she said, "Father, please let me go work with the temple dwellers. Let me live with them and work with them. Please, Father, I do not wish to marry. Please, Father." Well, her father, Lord of the land, looked at her and said, "You must obey me. You must marry." "Oh, please, Father, I am begging you. Let me go live with the temple dwellers. Please, I do not wish to marry." Well, finally, the father relented, and he let Quan Yin go live with the temple dwellers. But he went to the temple dwellers, and he said to them, "Work her. Work her as hard as you can. She has disobeyed me, and she must be worked. It will teach her to not disobey me." Well, Quan Yin was worked very hard at the temple. Even though the temple dwellers didn't agree with her father, still he was the lord of the land. And so they followed his guidance. They followed what he asked them to do and worked very hard to have Quan Yin be the one who did all the work. Well, news of how hard she worked, but worked with such a generous and loving heart, that news spread out throughout the land, and Quan Yin became known throughout the land as someone with great compassion and a great heart. This even spread to news in the forest. And the news in the forest, the animals got together and the spirits got together and they said, "Let us help her. Let us go help Quan Yin." So fire spirit brought the fire and birds brought the berries and the other animals gathered around and they helped Quan Yin with her chores. And so she had more time free to then spend with the spirits of the forest and the little animals and love them, and more time to even be in her own solitude. Well, the temple dwellers were very happy with this, but not everyone was. Word of this miracle spread throughout the land, including it got to her father. He did not like this. Not one bit did he like this. And he went to the temple dwellers and he said, "You must kill her. Kill her. She has defied me. She has made a mocking stock of me. I am laughed at in my own village. You must kill her." Well, the temple dwellers didn't want to do this. But again, the Lord of the land had ordered it. So one day, Quan Yin was taken out into the forest. And the temple dweller said, I can't do this." And Quan Yin, in all her goodness and her compassion, said, "You must. It is all right. I understand my father has ordered it, and you must obey my father." Well, as Quan Yin ascended to heaven, she took a step across the threshold. She stopped. She heard a cry from the earth below. She said, "I cannot step over. There is crying below. But her guiding spirit said, but look, there is no suffering on this side. Everything you want is over here. Are you sure you won't step over? Quan Yin said, no, I can't. I must step back. And I vow to walk the earth among the people as long as there is a cry of suffering. I will be here, alleviating the cries of suffering and helping those who hurt to find cries of joy. Well, it is said that Quan Yin still walks among us. What a beautiful thought. And she was given the status of goddess Quan Yin, this sweet young girl whose compassion was so great that she became known as the goddess of compassion. We too can learn from her, call upon her whenever we need compassion in our lives or when we need to know greater compassion for another. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, Diana Rankin. Love and blessings to each of you. May Quan Yin walk with you when you need compassion in your life, and that you may add compassion to others. Thank you. Thank you.